Breaking news, and you really need to hear this to the end because what I'm about to share will change the way that you see what just happened on America's birthday. So yesterday, as you and your family watched fireworks, maybe flipped burgers and barbecued and celebrated our 249th Independence Day, the FBI quietly raised the alarm. Credible warnings of lone wolf attacks right here at home. New York City, San Francisco, sleeper cells, suspected terrorists all on the radar. The threat was real, folks. But this time, something different happened. ICE didn't back down. They struck back because while the FBI sounded the siren, President Donald J. Trump, yes, he is our president right now, he signed his big, beautiful bill and he flipped the script overnight. So today, the day after the 4th, ICE is more powerful, more prepared, and more united than ever. In fact, more than we've seen in years. Sleeper cells, lone wolves, not on President Trump's watch, not with $100 billion in border wall upgrades, detention centers, and a fully recharged ICE force ready to hunt down the worst of the worst. So stick with me, guys, because in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how ICE turned the FBI's warning into a mission, what they're doing right now to secure your neighborhood, and why this bill just buried the old open border chaos for good. So if you care about your family's safety, if you care about your freedom to gather without fear, then, and also if you're proud that America finally stands strong again, you cannot miss what comes next. If you appreciate the updates, hit the like button and subscribe. So, let's jump into this. All right. So just one day after America's 249th Independence Day, and while families were grilling, they were laughing, watching fireworks, the truth is the FBI and Homeland Security were bracing for the worst. They didn't issue these warnings for show. These were real. They flagged the credible threats of lone wolf attacks, possible sleeper cells, ready to strike crowded celebrations, and they put New York City and San Francisco on high alert. Now, I got to ask you guys, did you go out into large crowds or did you just stay at home? Drop me a crowds if you went out to the crowds. Drop me a at home if you stayed at home. Because I know a lot of people, some people are really courageous and other people were like, hey, Ron, I'm just going to go ahead and play it safe. But let's be honest, guys, this wasn't pulled from thin air. We know where these threats are coming from. The Israel-Hamas conflict is still fueling radicals overseas. Iran's retaliation threats have not gone away. And lone wolves already tested the waters. I mean, just think back to those New Year's Day attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas. That was the scene. Millions celebrating freedom while our top agencies warned, stay vigilant. But here's where the story flips. And this is why you really need to stay locked in for what I'm about to say next, guys, because while the FBI was bracing for impact, President Trump and his team had already set the trap. This wasn't just talk. This was a plan that's already changing the game here. So keep listening, guys, because now we're about to go ahead and break down exactly how Trump's big, beautiful bill didn't just plug holes. It slammed the door shut on a lot of this chaos. So while mainstream headlines ran with panic, President Trump went straight to work. And on July 4th, while fireworks were lighting up the sky, he signed the single biggest border security bill in American history. Folks, this is $100 billion. Not in empty promises, not in lobbyist fluff, but real money for real security. So here's the breakdown. There's $46.5 billion locked in for finishing and upgrading the border wall, sealing up the weak points that let criminals and known threats pour through for years. We've got $45 billion to expand detention space. So no more, sorry, we ran out of beds, so here's your free bus ride inland. No more of that nonsense. $30 billion just for hiring, training, and keeping the best ICE agents on the street, and so that they're not outnumbered and outgunned anymore like we've already seen. And on top of that, fresh funding for Border Patrol boots, guys. They're going to be hiring way more Border Patrol, high-tech surveillance, transportation upgrades so that criminals can't just vanish once they cross. But here's what really makes this different. It wasn't just reckless. This wasn't bloated. Trump brought in Secretary Noem, law enforcement leaders, ICE veterans, people who actually know the front lines to craft this bill strategically. No more patchwork, no more half measures. This bill shut the door on the chaos and it opened the door for law and order. And it tells the world America's not your playground anymore. All right, so we just talked about the big, beautiful bill. Now, I want to talk about what it did immediately for the people on the ground, actually keeping you safe. Before President Trump came back, ICE was battered. I mean, you remember it. Officers were doxxed, threatened, spit on, assaulted. These budgets were gutted. I mean, they would catch dangerous criminals, but then there was no beds, there was no backup, and worse, they weren't even allowed to do their job. But yesterday, that changed in one single signature stroke. So now ICE agents, they don't have to worry about empty beds or empty promises. They finally have the detention space that they beg for. So if they catch a violent criminal or a violent repeat offender, that guy is not getting a Greyhound bus ticket deeper into our neighborhoods. He's getting processed, held, and sent the heck back home. Now, on top of that, this hiring surge means ICE won't be running skeleton crews anymore. The tech is back, new detection, new tracking, new transport, which means they don't just catch and release. They actually catch and remove. So the vibe inside of ICE right now, it's summed up in 3 letters. LFG. Let's freaking go. So anyway, I know that there's other people have different explanations for what LFG means, but we're going to go with that one just to keep it PG here. So anyway, officers are literally saying, we're back. We're the tip of the spear again. And this time the criminals don't stand a chance. But here's where it gets real, guys, because ICE didn't just cheer behind closed doors. They took this morale boost and they turned it into action overnight. So many people assume their broker got them the best deal. Too many people are finding out later that they did not get the best deal from their broker. And so this is why I partnered with Chapter. They find the big companies that they tend to overlook, because a lot of these companies literally will only mate you or assign you the plan that will pay them the most. And Chapter does not do that. In fact, listen to what Julie from Kansas said. She said, my broker's plan cost me more to see my own doctor. Chapter switched me. Now I'm saving $400 every year. Okay. Sharon Bertusik, she said, lost Medicaid, thought I was out of luck. Chapter gave me 0 premiums, 0 drug costs, and my copay dropped from $89 to $20. You can't beat that, guys. And did I tell you that Chapter is 100% free? They don't even charge you. It's unreal. It's almost like Chapter is like doing some charity work here. And anyway, I don't know why you haven't I don't know, for those of you who haven't called Chapter, I don't know what you're waiting for. So I'll leave the number down below, or you can hit them up on the web at askchapter.org/Ron. You'll see a link in the pinned comment down below, guys. All right. So I want to get into how all of this went down, because it wasn't just talk. ICE didn't wait a week or a month or an election cycle. They moved immediately once the ink on President Trump's signature dried. So first, they launched rapid deployment of detention capacity. So what does that mean, right? Well, it means they flipped the script on the old catch and release program. There's no more, right? There's no more out of room, let them go. What the heck is that, right? You know what I mean? They have places big, huge, secure, and ready. Second, they hit the streets with targeted sweeps. They're not grabbing innocent families or peaceful neighbors. They're not doing that. They're out here going after known threats. The same sleeper cells, the same lone wolves the FBI told us to fear, ICE is hunting them down right now. And yes, they are cleaning up the list of known gotaways. I mean, these are the criminals, some on watch lists, who slipped through when the border was a revolving door. Well, that door just got slammed shut. It didn't just get slammed shut. It got slammed, bolted, and reinforced with some concrete. I mean, and let's be crystal clear here, guys. They're not raiding your barbecue or your family picnic or your fireworks show. That's not what they're doing. They're surgically removing the people like a cancer who genuinely want to harm innocent Americans. That's the mission. Protect the innocent, remove the predators. So yes, ICE struck back, and they're just getting started. All right, so ICE is striking back. The detention space is wide open and the manpower is surging. But here's what mainstream media won't say. ICE isn't fighting this battle alone. Under President Trump, we finally have what's been needed for years, a unified, full spectrum homeland defense plan. I mean, we got Border Patrol stronger than ever with billions of new agents and tech plugging the leaks before criminals ever step foot inside. We've got the National Guard still deployed at critical transit points, airports, tunnels, bridges, infrastructure, keeping watch while the rest of America celebrates and lives free. And for the first time in a very long time, we've got local police, ICE, and Homeland Security actually sharing real-time intelligence, working together, hand in hand, instead of tripping over each other, right? Oh, and let's not forget the fact that the new frontier is here, cybersecurity. So while the FBI and Homeland Security flagged sleeper cells, they also warned about the Iran-linked hackers plotting to hit our infrastructure. Now, we've got cyber units running 24/7, hunting these creeps down before they even touch a server. And you know the other threat that they flagged the other day? The weaponized drones? Well, guess what? New detection systems are rolling out as mass gatherings. They're rolling out at mass gatherings coast to coast. This is proactivity like we've never seen before. This is very smart. This is exactly what happens when you have a president who doesn't talk about America first. He actually funds it, equips it, and unites it. But of course, not everybody's cheering. Some cities, some politicians, they still want to play games, right? They tried to shame ICE, block them, even cancel our own Independence Day celebrations just to protect criminals. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and call out the sanctuary cities that bent the knee to criminals instead of standing with law enforcement. And I'm going to show you how Trump handled it calmly, but with a real backbone. You're going to want to hear this. All right. So let's talk about what so-called leaders did while ICE was out there doing their job. I'm talking about cities like Los Angeles County, Whittier, Bell Gardens, and Caude. What did they do? Well, instead of standing up with the men and women risking their lives to keep us safe, they canceled 4th of July events. Yeah, I know. Stupid, right? They canceled the fireworks, the concerts, community cookouts, all scrapped. Why? To protect immigrants from ICE raids that were not even happening. This is the spin. ICE will raid families watching fireworks. No, they won't. ICE targets convicted criminals, not your grandma's picnic. You know what I mean? So they're going after the criminals. They're not going after your grandma's picnic. By the way, guys, how much? Drop a fireworks in the comments down below if you set off fireworks, or drop a watch my neighbors set off fireworks comment down below if you're like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and save my money and just watch somebody else set off their own fireworks. What did you guys do? I'm just curious. But here's where the compassion really comes in, guys. Trump didn't storm in and force communities to hold events at gunpoint. He didn't insult lawful immigrants. He did the opposite. He stayed calm. He laid out the facts. We protect good people. We remove bad people, period. Guys, that's Trump right there. That's real leadership. Real compassion means protecting your kids from predators, not letting dangerous criminals blend in and hide behind people who came here legally or want to do the right thing. So Trump's message: celebrate your freedom and let ICE do its job so you can keep celebrating every year without fear. So what was the result of all of this? Did the warning actually come true? Like, was FBI's worst fear realized, or did the smart strategy work and keep Americans safe? Well, yesterday, the FBI warned us: lone wolves, sleeper cells, chaos on the 4th of July, right? But what happened? Did we see mass attacks in New York? Bombings in San Francisco? Fireworks shows turned into crime scenes? No, because when the threat came a knocking, Trump's plan was already waiting at the door. ICE struck back. Border security sealed the gaps. Local police and federal teams stayed locked in. And the result? Families across America celebrated in peace. No major attacks, no bridges collapsing, no buildings being knocked down, no mass panic. Just millions of Americans watching fireworks and grilling burgers without looking over their shoulder every 5 seconds. This is what America First really means, guys. It's not a slogan, it's a shield. It means our cities aren't wide open playgrounds for people who hate what our flag stands for. It means our kids, they get to grow up knowing their leaders put them first, not criminals, not sleeper cells, not foreign radicals. So we stayed vigilant. ICE did its job, and President Trump did exactly what he promised to do. He kept his word. He kept Americans safe. So drop a 47 if you support Trump in his efforts here, guys. But here's where you come in, because keeping America safe doesn't stop at one bill. This is just one bill. It doesn't stop at one bill. It definitely doesn't stop at one speech or one holiday. It takes all of us standing and watching, speaking up, backing the men and women who carry this out every single day for us. So first, we got to stay vigilant. If you see something off, say something. Your voice could be the piece that actually stops the next lone wolf before they ever act. We all remember what happened over in Butler, Pennsylvania, right? So I'll just leave it right there, okay? Second, we need to back our law enforcement. The men and women of ICE, Border Patrol, local sheriffs, they're not the villains. They're your neighbors. They're your father. They're their fathers, mothers, sons, daughters. Putting on that badge every single day so that you and I, we can sleep soundly at night. And third, stay informed. We both know that the mainstream legacy media will never tell you how this really works. They're going to spin it. They're going to bury it. They're going to blame it on everybody else except the criminals. So make sure you're subscribed right here on the channel. Hit that bell notification icon too. Share this video so that more people know what really happened yesterday and what's happening next. Under Trump, we're standing strong, smart, and united. And as long as we do, lone wolves will definitely lose. Sleeper cells will lose, and America wins every single time. So from my family to yours, appreciate you guys for staying sharp, staying engaged, and staying American. God bless you. God bless ICE. God bless the United States of America. And I will see you guys on the next one.